Hello, friends. I want to talk to you guys tonight about this very terrible thing that you may be doing to yourself when you're trying to lose weight, so that you can stop doing it. And it's going to be difficult to stop if this is what you typically do. And you probably do, because it's really common. And I did it to myself for years, and it's not effective at all. And almost every woman that I've ever coached also does this one thing, and that is bullying yourself. Bullying yourself into submission with your diet. Hey, Regina, how are you, girl? It doesn't work. And what do I mean by that? So it sounds really mean. Oops, I didn't turn my notifications off. That's going to be annoying. It sounds really mean and you think, well, I wouldn't do that to myself. Oh, but you do. I'll give you some examples. And you guys tell me what other weird ways you try to bully yourself into submission. And then I'm going to tell you why it doesn't work. Okay? Because you might think it does, but long term, it just doesn't. So what does this look like? First of all, any type of negative self-talk. Hey, Tim, you were supposed to call me back. Thanks for watching my live, bro. Any type of negative self-talk where you're just like, oh, see, I knew I couldn't do it. Like, maybe you've been doing really good on your meal plan for like a week, and then you have a cookie, and you're like, oh, I knew it. I can't do this. I suck, right? We all like can get in that little mindset trap. But sometimes it's just straight up a bullying tactic. Like, I am not going to let myself do this thing until the scale says this number, right? Like, we threaten ourselves, like, oh, I have to hit this number on the scale, or I can't have, a glass of wine until I hit this magical number. Or maybe you compare yourself to what other people are doing or accomplishing, and that's the way that you bully yourself. Oh, if I just had so-and-so's willpower, then I could have a body like hers. Well, that's not even true. Your willpower is not the problem. But these are the things that we do. We torture ourselves, and somehow we think that's going to make us stick with it. And I think the reason that we do that, I'm not positive, but I think the reason we do that is because we think our willpower is the problem. And so we think if we just talk enough trash to ourselves that we'll be able to somehow stick with it this time. But here's the deal. First of all, maybe those aren't the ways that you're bullying yourself. Maybe yours looks different. Those are just some random ones that I've seen. But if it's any type of trying to belittle yourself, shame yourself, or torture yourself into staying on a diet, then that is what I mean by bullying yourself. So whatever that looks like for you, here's the deal. If it hasn't worked all these years, it probably just doesn't work, right? So we have to go about it a different way. You can be kind to yourself and do some other things, like instead of badgering yourself into thinking your willpower is broken and you're just weak or you're just not good enough. None of those things are true. None of those things. You just need a different model to follow. You need to learn how to build out habits. It sounds so boring, right? But there's ways of doing it, and I promise you, none of it is just talking trash to yourself. Now, I love to talk trash. I'm a good little trash talker, but doing it to yourself to try to stay on plan isn't going to work. So be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself when you are trying to lose weight. Celebrate what you do right instead of always focusing on what you haven't done right. That's a big form of self-bullying that I see people do. Is somebody could be making like amazing progress and making so many changes that are really difficult, and they're so amazing for even pulling it off, but they'll sit there and tell you every single thing they did wrong in that day. And if you're always badgering yourself, you're going to become disenchanted with the whole process, and you're going to stop doing it because it doesn't feel good. There is a difference between self-reflection for betterment, like sitting back once in a while and taking a self-assessment and saying, okay, what do I want different out of my life? What are some areas I can make improvements? That is one thing, and that is productive. But just on a daily basis, being like, you could have done like 5 things really, really well, but you focus on that one thing that you think wasn't right, and then you try. So let's say it's having a cookie. Like, you could have done so many amazing things for your body on this random Thursday, and then you have a cookie. and then you just beat yourself up about it. You try to shame yourself about it. You feel super guilty, and then you punish yourself for the next 3 days with either like food that you don't even really like, but you think it's healthy. So you're like, well, fine, I'm just going to eat these salads for the next 3 days and be sad about it because I had that cookie. Like, be nice to yourself. Be nice to yourself. It works much better. I promise you. Is this resonating with you guys? Do you do this? Do you bully yourselves or compare what you're doing with what you think somebody else is doing? And that's why they have this all figured out and perfect. Because I know I used to do it for sure. A lot of the women that I work with do it. And so I thought, I'm seeing this a lot. And so that is why I wanted to share this with you guys. I hope that it helps and that you all have an awesome Thursday.